Coming up on this edition of the Desert Vision, we check in on port operations at UAE. The 891st FSC are at the Udari Range, and we tell the story of a soldier coming up on 40 years of service. This is the Desert Vision.
Welcome to the Desert Vision presented by U.S. Army Central. I'm Specialist Max Youth.
And I'm Sergeant Amy Norden. All of those stories and more coming up. But first, we look into Iron Union 14. For the past few years, Exercise Iron Union has taken place between the United Arab Emirates Land Forces and the U.S. Army. Sergeant Sam DeLeon joins us from UAE with more on Iron Union 14.
Iron Union 14 was a week-long bilateral training exercise that gave a U.S. Army unit and the UAE Land Forces the opportunity to work together and test their ability to accomplish any mission. Task Force Spartan Commander, Major General Patrick Hamilton said in a statement, "Our mission is to deter destabilizing influences and aggression in the region. The best way that we, as Task Force Spartan, can deter aggression by those actors is to continue to train together, help build partner capacity, and support our regional partners whenever possible." This exercise accomplished that. Lieutenant Colonel Brian Bonema, commander of 1/6 Infantry Regiment, said, "The exercise was a great success, and his unit learned a lot about themselves and our partners."
We were able to increase our training capacity and capabilities. Additionally, we realized that security must be earned, and it's earned through hard work, and we were able to put that hard work in during this exercise.
The week-long exercise consisted of a tactical movement to an enemy location, then breaching a mine-wired obstacle, evaluation of a casualty, and ended with a live-fire demonstration that highlighted the capabilities of the unit's equipment. General Hamilton also said he's grateful to the Emirati hosts and is extremely impressed by their professionalism and dedication as a partner in the region, and he looks forward to many more opportunities in the future. Colonel Bonema said, "This is an exercise both he and his soldiers will never forget."
It was an exceptional experience. It was great for our soldiers to interact with another armored force within this region. We're better for it because of the relationships that we were able to build.
In UAE for Task Force Spartan, I'm Sergeant Sam DeLeon.
General Hamilton also said that despite the current COVID environment, the units were able to fall in line and pick up the training where they left off. A true testament to our professionalism of our units and our partners.
Of course, Exercise Iron Union doesn't happen without equipment. Much like the port of Shuaibah here in Kuwait, the port in UAE is crucial in movement operations in the region.
Iron Union 14 is a bilateral exercise between Task Force Spartan and the United Arab Emirates Land Forces designed to strengthen military-to-military relationships. One of the most important parts of any exercise or mission is the transportation aspect, and it often gets overlooked. Lieutenant Colonel Chris Jenkins says they have to consider where the equipment is going and how it needs to be moved.
We say nothing happens until something moves. So we have to be able to logistically get cargo and our supplies wherever we need them, wherever we are required to have them in a timely manner.
Readiness is a top priority for the Army. It's key to ensure the theater is equipped and prepared to conduct exercises such as Iron Union. This meant moving U.S. vehicles in a container ship to UAE to take part in the exercise. Captain Victor Ramos is the Assistant Brigade S4, and he says it's critical to get the equipment to its final location as soon as possible.
Right now, they're waiting for all this equipment to arrive to the training area so they can start coordinating resources, making sure they have the readiness for the maintenance of the equipment that they're going to use.
Army sustainment units directly contribute to the readiness and success of any mission by providing supplies and equipment to the units quickly so they can continue to conduct operations. In UAE for Task Force Spartan, I'm Sergeant Sam DeLeon.
The transportation team at the port is vital to ensuring the equipment makes it off the ship and to its final destination, showing how efficiently pieces can move throughout the battle space.
We will have more from U.S. Army Central right after this. Kansas National Guard soldiers with the 891st Engineer Battalion cover a wide scope of responsibilities in the theater. We caught up with them at the range as they cover mission essential training.
Today is making us all a better soldier because a lot of us are not organic to the unit and they've never done this style of operation. So everyone from maintenance to fuelers and the cooks get to do something they've never done in this atmosphere before.
We're out at the range. We're doing crew serve weapons qual for all of our crew serve fire teams. But along with that, we've implemented our medal training.
Mission essential task lists are important because it gives the commander a good assessment on how ready the unit and soldiers are prepared to do their job.
We had our mess section come out here and actually prepare a field meal for the guys to eat for lunch day. We had a refuel on the move mission where our fuelers came out here and fueled all the organic equipment that we brought out. And we had our maintenance recovery team practice their mission as far as recovering a downed vehicle. So this training makes us better equipped as a forward support company because we're able to go out and actually use this training in real world deployed environments throughout the area of operation.
You learn there's things that you can improve on, and you learn that after you're done instead of in the process. That way you become a more independent soldier and you know your job better at the end of the day.
To me is the most beneficial thing of all of this training that we do. We've allowed soldiers that are going to be great NCOs and maybe future officers to get into a leadership position out in the field or really in a deployed environment and think about all aspects of what does it take to make a mission successful from point A to point B and then back again?
Yeah, it's just good to have everyone out here and learning new things and doing things they don't do before in this atmosphere. So hopefully they can apply that to any of their future experiences. So that way they can learn from today and build from it.
Regular training such as this solidifies those essential skills that are needed in any environment, not just a deployed one.
Staying fit can be a challenge for some during our COVID-19 climate. But the MWR is helping with that, with one of the first adapted programs made virtual. Staff Sergeant Luke Wilson joined a group of runners staying fit during the pandemic.
Thanks, Specialist Huth. The Army's Morale, Welfare, and Recreation program usually has a fun list of exciting things to do. But when COVID-19 hit, the Army had to readjust in many different ways.
I hate running, but running is very important, and about a year ago I couldn't run a full mile without stopping to take a breath, and within a year I was running a half marathon and ran a full marathon a few days ago. So running has helped me to stay in shape. Virtual runs are important because it provides camaraderie, and prior to COVID, thousands of people would show up for runs here at Camp Air John and get t-shirts, but it was just a fun event. And being that most of that went away for COVID, to keep providing those opportunities is very important to keep the morale up here while people are deployed. The running mafia for me is that I was afraid to join it because I thought this was a group of superhero runners, and kind of find out there are all levels of runners, from people that are just new to running or people that run marathons on a regular basis. So we have people that log their only miles with us for the week and others that log 50 to 100 miles. So it's kind of cool to see that everybody works together and everybody improves every week.
The response we get has been increasing for every run, so that's very encouraging. We're here to find recreation for the soldiers to do, but due to the COVID precautions, we're limited on what we can do. So to see the numbers start to increase at every run, that's very encouraging for us, and it's very good for the community. We give them about a week's time frame that they can do it anytime at their leisure, and they can just prove it that they've ran on their phone. So it gives them more of an opportunity, and it's something that the soldiers can look forward to. It gets them out into the outdoors and the open air. One thing that I've learned from this whole COVID experience is that we work as a community. We get total cooperation from the entire community in order to get these events going, and we get a lot of appreciation back from the community.
Staying physically active is a must to stay healthy and combat ready. Thanks to the MWR, we can be more motivated to put in some of those extra miles. We'll be right back. Resiliency is a cornerstone for any successful soldier, especially downrange. U.S. Army Central chaplains explain just how vital it is in all phases of our life. Staff Sergeant Luke Wilson sat down with chaplains Ken May and Josh White.
Spiritual wellness identifies who we are. So it answers the questions, who are you and how do I fit? What is my purpose here?
It can mean different things to different people. Somebody can approach that from a faith-based aspect. Somebody can approach that from more of a philosophical aspect. But I think the underlying theme from both of those approaches is that we realize that we are more than the sum of our parts.
It is that spiritual part of you that helps you when everything else in your life falls apart. And so you have to develop those things in order to have something to fall back on, because everybody has those times where things just are not going their way.
We are more than just some chemical compounds that have come together. There's something deeper in us. And so we have to relate with others and we have to relate with the world around us in a deeper way. You can break the disciplines of spirituality down into referring to some sort of sacred text and spending time in prayer or meditation. So say for someone from a religious or a faith-based approach, they would look at their sacred text. Examples of this would be the Bible, the Quran, the Talmud. For someone who is not from a faith-based aspect, this could be any type of text that gives them guidance in seeing the deeper things of life, in exploring the deeper parts of us as human beings, and as exploring the deeper parts of the way we relate to others and the way we relate to the world around us. And then the second discipline is prayer and meditation. So for those with a faith-based or a religious-based aspect, prayer, that's where you communicate with God. For those that are not coming from that persuasion, it would be meditation. It would be spending that time looking inward and analyzing your beliefs, analyzing your approach to the world, analyzing the way that you perceive things and engage things around you.
We train on Army regulations and we train on soldier tasks and stuff, those mental things, because when things go sideways, we need to be able to do them without thinking about them. So with spiritual wellness, okay, what is it in that moment that keeps me sane? How do I know I'm spiritually fit? Because I can answer those questions of who am I and how do I fit in the larger scheme of things?
So I think, what makes it hard is that we have to do business with some deeper issues that can be difficult sometimes. It makes us face things that we perceive within ourselves as inadequacies, and that's not fun. But when you seek out the tenets of your faith or the tenets of your philosophy, it becomes a guide to you. It becomes a guiding force to help you get better.
We tend to get busy and get in our foxhole and get our heads down, and we're busy doing our things. But what we need to be doing is doing more of what we did before, not less of it. And then maybe find a few new things to practice.
Being strong spiritually gives us that foundation for dealing with meeting the demands, meeting the task and purpose, meeting the mission that we have in whatever our job in the military is. It really undergirds everything.
Checking on your resiliency from time to time can help keep your career on the right path.
Speaking of careers, imagine being a career counselor with nearly 40 years of service under your belt. We caught up with a retention NCO stationed at Camp Arifjan who has been guiding soldiers for nearly 4 decades. Sergeant Von Trey Hampton has more.
Why do soldiers serve? Some serve to help pay for college, to travel the world, or to gain experience in a certain field. Sergeant First Class Joseph Brookshire has been serving for nearly 40 years out of love for his country and love for the Army.
My motivation to join the Army is really a family tradition, and it's something I always felt I should do and wanted to do, to serve the country. And I joined as a high school senior in 1983. 79 Victor is a career counselor, and that is my current MOS. We're only in the Army Reserve. So I've had other MOSs in the past. I've been a 79 Romeo, which was a recruiter. Prior to that, I was a 71 Echo, which was court reporter, and prior to that, 71 Delta, which was legal specialist. So as a career counselor, you get to counsel soldiers, just as the name implies. We assist officers in their transitions as well. So you're really getting to have a direct impact on soldiers' lives, and you can see positive impact.
Sergeant First Class Brookshire has served in 5 different decades and has seen many changes within the Army.
That were developed in the business world being brought into the Army. And that's beginning to better prepare soldiers as well, so when they leave uniform, they're better prepared for the business world. The Army education program has changed dramatically. It helps grow the NCOs. Army Reserve soldiers bring their civilian experience to the uniform, and they often bring their uniform experience to their civilian jobs. One of the key features that I enjoy about the Army is the camaraderie. We're brothers and sisters in arms, brothers and sisters in uniform, and as a result, you have that kind of club that you're a member of. We look at the person to our left and right as our comrade in arms and as our brothers and sisters. And that's something that you can't buy that. You can't find it anywhere else.
Brookshire has created a long list of accolades throughout his distinguished career.
Some of the accomplishments that I'm the most proud of myself, it's not something that I really did for me. It's something where I saw a direct impact on another soldier's life. And that's meaningful to me, and that just really motivates me and makes you feel good, frankly. It's a very rewarding job. I currently have 37 years of cumulative service. I'll have 38 years of service in May, and if everything works out right, I'll have over 42 years of service when I finally retire. Kind of what's kept me in the Army this long is just the desire to continue serving. The education I found from the Reserve, the experience was helpful. And now at this point, I really enjoy what I do. I like my job. And frankly, there's nothing else I'd want to do.
Brookshire has had a long and successful career. As he approaches retirement, he said he will remember helping younger soldiers the most.
We will have more from U.S. Army Central coming up.
Motor transport operator, better known as an 88 Mike, is one of those more popular jobs in the Army. Specialist Michaela Mouser with the 720th Transportation Company gave us an inside look of her day-to-day.
I'm Specialist Michaela Mouser from 720th Transportation Company, and I'm an 88 Mike. We're National Guard out of Las Vegas, New Mexico. I've been an 88 Mike for 5 years now. I do enjoy being an 88 Mike. I feel like it's given me a lot of job opportunities. It's definitely something I wouldn't have done civilian-wise, but it's something that I'm glad I'm doing now military-wise. We're here to support Operation Spartan Shield with transportation. I think my favorite thing about the Army is traveling experiences, but also getting to know different people, especially with in the Guard. You have people who have different professions outside of their military career, so you get to meet a lot of interesting people. I think my experience as an 88 Mike, it's taught me a lot of responsibility that I wouldn't have learned in the civilian side of life. I feel like it's been a nice career choice in my life, and I've definitely had the chance with the military and Army to travel and meet new people.
As an 88 Mike, Mouser will have the opportunity to travel all over theater, meeting new people and gaining valuable experience for her MOS. Experience that can definitely translate to the civilian world down the road.
Safety is always the Army's #1 priority, and oftentimes we forget about the unsung heroes that work to maintain that sense of security. We're joined by Sergeant Jermaine Jackson, who is on a ride-along with our military police, highlighting the work they do to keep us safe.
That's right, Specialist Youth. The 1139th Military Police Company have been working tirelessly, both on and off post, to ensure security throughout the theater.
Alpha Base, this is 1-6, show me in service.
My name is Specialist Ryan Wilson. I'm from Kansas City, Missouri, with the 1139th here at Camp Air John. I'm a military police officer here. Our job, it really entitles a lot. We have to be the first line of safety for everybody, and also just being here for the community. If somebody has a question, if they need anything, just being here. We're not just soldiers, we're also police officers, so we have to do more in a sense, but it's nothing that I didn't sign up for. It's nothing that I don't like doing. My favorite part about my job is the people that I work with. You will help somebody and you will never see them again. And also you get to work with everybody on like the base or on post, not just soldiers, not just contractors, not just, you get to experience a little bit of everything. You always get the saying you want to train harder than what you actually fight, but like real world situations, nothing can really beat what you're gonna get when you work in the streets as a law enforcement officer. You're going to these situations, you just gotta know how to react and just put your best foot forward.
The 1139th is enjoying gaining experience in a deployed setting and pledged to maintain the rules and standards set forth by the post commander.
Well, that will do it for the Desert Vision presented by U.S. Army Central.
For more stories, check our Facebook page at facebook.com/US Army Central.
For the 101st Airborne Division, I'm Sergeant Amy Norden.
And for U.S. Army Central, I'm Specialist Max Youth.
Pat and Zone.
Always forward.